able to see record. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Today's sloka, we are going to discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 28th chapter and 4th verse. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ahimsa Satyam Astyam Yavat Artha Parigraha Brahmacharyam Tapa Saucham Swadhyam Purusarchanam. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Vasan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Ahimsa satyamasteyam yavadartha parigraha brahmacharyam tapaha saucham swadayaya purushacharanam. Sorry, purusharshanam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Yes, yes. Ahimsa satyamasteyam yadav artha parigraha brahmacharyam tapashocham swadhyaya purusharjanam.
Thank you, Mataji. So the synonyms goes like this: Ahimsa, non-violence; Satyam, truthfulness; Asteyam, referring from this; Yavat Artha, as much as necessary; Parigraha, possessing; Brahmacharyam, celibacy; Tapa, austerity; Saucham, cleanliness; Swa Adhyayaha, study of the Vedas; Purusa Archanam, worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation by His Divine Grace Yeshi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sant Prabhu. Are you available, Prabhuji? Or any
No, Prabhu.
Prabhu
He
is
is
no
not
Prabhu?
available. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. Sadhu Sevan Prabhu.
Prabhuji, he's on some other call. So,
Okay, anybody can read, or I will continue.
Prabhu, I would like to go, but I cannot see the screen for translation.
Prabhu, you need to move the slide.
Prabhuji, it is moved, Prabhu. Sloka is not visible, Prabhu, now?
No, sloka is visible, but the translation is not visible.
For me, I could see, Prabhu. On second, I will.
No, Prabhu, you need to press one more time, so it is moving to the next one.
Now?
No.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, now it is visible, Prabhu. Yeah. Project one more time, Prabhu.
I'm doing the 1 second.
Yeah.
Is it okay now, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. I think, Mamta Mataji, are you able to see, or I will read?
Yeah. I'm able to see. If you want to go ahead, Prabhu, you can.
No, Maji, you go ahead. No problem.
Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
One should suppress non-violence and truthfulness. Be satisfied with possessing as much as he needs for his maintenance. He should abstain from sex life, perform austerity, be clean, study the Vedas, and worship the supreme form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Bluetooth mode.
So this translation goes like this: one should practice non-violence and truthfulness, should avoid thieving, and be satisfied with possessing as much as he needs for his maintenance. So actually, I splitted this translation. So first part, it is very clear. It says that what are the qualities we need as a devotee? We need, like we say in our basic requirements, 4 principles. So similarly, it is also here the in sloka it is said one should practice non-violence. He should be truthful. Non-violence in the sense he should not do injustice to any other people like animals or anything. Truthfulness, he should be always should not cheat, should avoid thieving, should not, and it is satisfied with possessing as much as he needs for his maintenance. So he need to earn what he requires for survival. And then the translation second part it goes, he should abstain from sex life, performing austerity. And now here it says that how here we can reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we need to control our senses, and we need, so for that is the first point. He should abstain from sex life, performing austerity, be clean, study the Vedas, and worship the supreme form of person, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here one more point is also added, that we need to worship the supreme form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So from this log also it is clear that there is a form for the Lord, and we need to always meditate on form of the Lord, even while worshipping, chanting, uh, and all the while doing all devotional services. And to before doing that, we should be very clean. Hare Krishna. And the purport goes like this. Prabhu, anybody is there, or shall I continue, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
I will read, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, please, Prabhu.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
In the Purusa Archanam, in this verse means worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the form of Lord Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed by Arjuna that Krishna is the original Purusha or personality of Godhead, Purusham Shashvatam. Therefore, in yoga practice, one not only must concentrate his mind on the person of Krishna, but must also worship the form of deity or deity of Krishna daily. A brahmachari practices celibacy, controlling his sex life. One cannot enjoy unrestricted sex life and practice yoga. This is rascaldom. So-called yogis advertise that one can go on enjoying as one likes and simultaneously become a yogi, but this is totally unauthorized. It is very clearly explained here that one must observe celibacy. Brahmacharyam means that one leads his life simply in relationship with Brahman or in full Krishna consciousness. Those who are too addicted to sex life cannot observe the regulations which will lead them to Krishna consciousness. Sex life should be restricted to persons who are married. A person whose sex life is restricted in marriage is also called a brahmachari. The word asteyam is also very important for a yogi. Asteyam means to refrain from theft. In the broader sense, everyone who accumulates more than he needs is a thief. According to a spiritual communism, one cannot possess more than he needs for his personal maintenance. That is the law of nature. Anyone who accumulates more money or more possessions than he needs is called a thief, and one who simply accumulates wealth without spending for sacrifice or for worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a great thief. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, from the purport, Prabhupada has clearly explained what is the basic necessity of a devotee, and which will help him to progress in devotional service, basically Krishna consciousness. The Pusacharam in this verse means worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the form of Lord Krishna. So that is the very important what we need to as a Krishna devotees, we need to think or uh, we can say visualize. We need to visualize Lord Krishna in all our activities. So it becomes all our activities connected to Krishna consciousness, and it becomes as Pursarjanam. Pursarjana. So this means that we visualize Lord while chanting, while preparing bhoga, or doing all activities, even while doing working in office, or even in any material part. When we visualize, we can visualize. Visualizing Krishna is not a big deal. That we can visualize. While doing so, our sense, everything will be under control. Even we will restrict thinking ahead of what it has to be thought. In Bhagavad Gita also it is confirmed by Arjuna. So we have a proof also that not only basically Bhagavad Gita in sense it is Gita, that is spoken song spoken by Lord, that is Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavan also says that I am all and everything emanates from me. We need to trust it, and even since God himself has said yes, we need, there is no deviation for that, we need to accept it 100%. And even Arjuna also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita sloka, Bhagavad Gita 10.12.13, param brahma param dhamma pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shaswatam divyam adi devam ajam vibhu ahastvam ऋषय सर्वे देवर्षि नारदस्तथा सितो देवलो व्यास स्वयं चैव ब्रह्मेशि मे. So translation: Arjuna said, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Sita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and you yourself are declaring it to me. So here there is no point of, there is no question that who is big or who is ultimate. So here Lord also confirmed and Arjuna also confirmed, saying that one second, sorry. So here Krishna is the original Purusha or the supreme personality of Godhead, Purusham Saswatam. And how we can and it here also Prabhupada also clearly said that we should concentrate in our mind always the form of the Krishna. And the next point is brahmachari. How one can be brahmachari even after grihastha. So even a person, a non-married person is not only called as a brahmachari who is controlled with his self life, but even the person who is married and controlling his sex life even after marriage, he is also called as a brahmachari. So basically, controlling sex life in the sense controlling in sex senses. So once we practice controlling our senses, our focus, our mind will be focused towards Krishna prema. So that is the basic necessity for one to progress in Krishna bhakti. And the word asiteyam is also very important for a yogi. So asiteyam means it is to refrain from theft. Theft in the sense, also that is also Prabhupada clearly explained here. One who earns more than his record day-to-day requirements is also called as a thief, because if one can survive with sufficient food and sufficient money, then if he is earning more than that, means he is grabbing the resources of belongs to other. So that is a point also Prabhupada says here. And not only that, without theft, and who simply accumulates wealth without spending for sacrifice or for worship of personal godhead is a great thief. He is called as a great thief. Not only thief, he is called as a great thief. So Prabhupada says that one who is materially want to earn, want to enjoy his material life, he is a great thief. So it is a part of this sloka, just a purport, and it is actually being today Ekadashi, this sloka came into mind. So this was really attracted me a lot. So I thought, let me give a small brief about the sloka, and then I'm still in basic only, so I will be covering little bit basic today. And then next point comes Swada Swadaya means rendering the authorized, reading the authorized Vedic scriptures. So now one is controlling the senses, and the second part is he is earning the record things, and the third part is how we can progress. We can progress only by reading the Vedic scriptures through how it has to be read. Also, Prabhupada explained here. Even if one is not Krishna conscious and is practicing the yoga system, he must read standard Vedic literatures in order to understand. Performance of yoga alone is not sufficient. So here Prabhupada says that this yoga means he not the day-to-day activity yogas. This is yoga. In Sanskrit, yoga means connecting Lord. So Narottama Das Thakur, a great devotee and acharya in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, says that all spiritual activities should be understood from three sources, namely saintly person, standard scriptures, and the spiritual master. So these we can say it as Bhakti triangle: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Without, even if any one point breaks, this Bhakti triangle will not be complete. So we need to read scriptures, and that too through that scripture should be a authorized scripture, and it has to be read through a authorized Vaishnava, that is who is none other than our spiritual master Guru, and we need to be in the Sadhu Sangha. Because sadhu satsang, which makes a big difference in a spiritual life. Even shanamatram, we say no, even a fraction of minute, if we get a satsang, if we get opportunity to meet any Vaishnava, it will make a big changes in the path of bhakti. So these three guides are very important for progress in spiritual life. The spiritual master prescribes standard literature for the prosecution of the yoga of devotional service, and he himself speaks only from the spiritual reference. This is very important. So spiritual master, in the sense, we need to, in ISKCON, we don't have any problem that we are into a disciplic succession of, we are in disciplic succession of Guru Parampara. So it is ensured that it is not only ensured, it is fact that whatever Lord said, it has been transferred through disciplic succession of chain, and now it is being reached us through Guru, and through Guru as it is. That's the reason Prabhupada also wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. So the same, we will be getting the same same subject what Lord Krishna has taught. Therefore, reading standard scriptures is necessary for the executing yoga. And even the scriptures also should be a standard scriptures, not reading anybody as any sadhu has written this, that, and everything. It should be an authenticated scripture like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamritam, and like this. Because we know that Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam also written by Vyasadeva, and it is an authorized scripture. Practicing yoga without reading the standard literature is simply a waste of time. Prabhupada punches here a very great point. Practicing yoga without reading the standard literature is simply a waste of time. It is like reading any other non-devotional books. So here we cover the details of this sloka, and just I'm going to some small basics to refresh myself. If any mistake, please help me. Srimad Bhagavatam. We all know Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Lord Himself. So in Kali Yuga, we say that Lord comes in the form of name. Kali. So more than that, Srimad Bhagavatam is none other different from the Lord. So discussing Bhagavatam on the day of Ekadashi, very, very auspicious, and I thank once again for giving me this opportunity. Due to this, I could read many translations to prepare for this. So really thankful to Prabhujis and Matajis for giving me this opportunity. So we all know that Srimad Bhagavatam is composed of 18,000 slokas, which all consist of only leelas of Lord. So it doesn't say any other stories or any things apart from Lord's leela. So hearing about Lord is very auspicious, which will attract one mood towards devotional very easily. The same was explained by Lord Shiva. So how the Bhagavatam came, we have a small background. The Lord Shiva spoke to Parvati, and while Lord Shiva was speaking about Bhagavatam, a small parrot was also hearing to that, and then later it entered the mouth of his mother, and it became Sukadev Goswami. And he was in the womb of his mother for a quite long period. Even the material people who will not accept this or understand this, but he was quite because he knew he heard the Bhagavatam, so and he don't want to come out into this material world and get uh, get connected to this Maya. So he was very adamant. He stayed back into the womb of his mother. So later there was a stage he has to come out. Then after coming out, he ran to the forest, but Vyasadeva stopped him. And Vyasadeva is also a form of Lord. And he he got back Sukadeva Goswami lamenting. He was lamenting because his son, only son, he was waiting for quite long period to see him, but once he came, he left. So Vyasadeva was lamenting, and then he brought him back and he taught him Srimad Bhagavatam. So how Vyasadeva came to know about this Bhagavatam? Because Narada Muni, Vyasadeva, after compiling all the Vyasadeva, in the sense he he broke all the Chatur Vedas into a simpler way so that people, common person can read. So that's the reason his name became Vyas Dev. So later, even after translating all the Shastras, Vyasdev was not happy. He was in sad. So Narada Muni, he could meet his Gurudev, Narada Muni, and then Narada Muni advised him to write Srimad Bhagavatam. So here Narada Muni says in one of the sloka during Narada Muni's instruction to Vyasadeva, Tatva Visargo Jagata Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Pratishlokam Abhaidyavati Api Namani Anantasya Yaso Ankitani Sarna Saranvanti Sravanti Gayanti Grahanti Sadhava. On the other hand, the literature, which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, and pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord, is a transcendental creation meant for bringing about a revolution in the impious life of a disdirected civilization. Thus, transcendental literature, even though irregularly composed, is heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So, now with this advice, Narada and advice of Narad Muni to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva got the idea of writing Srimad Bhagavatam, which which even a common person can read and understand about the Lord, and who will be easily directed to the spiritual path without any, even if he don't have the qualification, or even he recites this Bhagavatam without understanding, or without any hope of belief, anything, he will be having an opportunity to get liberated. So that is the advice given by Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva start writing this Bhagavatam. So then, so this is the first part, and through, even though Sukadeva Goswami know this, but Sukadeva Goswami was initiated by, and he has given the spiritual knowledge through his father Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva, sorry, Sukadeva Goswami then spoke to this Parishik Maharaj, who was cursed by Shringi due to entrance of Kali. Parishit Maharaj was affected, and he made a mistake, and due to that, Shringi cursed him to be killed within 7 days. So Parishit Maharaj immediately left his palace and all his things, and uh, through his guru, guidance, he had a chance to meet Sukadeva Goswami on the Ganges on the shore of a river Ganges. So and he had an opportunity to hear for 7 days about the Srimad Bhagavatam. So during the Bhagavatam, Suta Goswami was present, and the Suta Goswami could hear all the Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, and the same was explained to Sanuka sages headed by Saunuka Rishi at Naimisharanya. When sages gathered together to make yajna for the goodwill of the universe, so sages had an opportunity to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Suta Goswami. So, how this sloka came up? It is from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3. The name is Status Q, and the chapter 28, Kapila, instructions on the execution of devotional service. This chapter was very nice. All the translations I have accumulated, but we will just go read them. Being an auspicious day, we will read them later. But this is very nice to hear how this came up. This part came up when Vidura was questioning to Maitreya, and Maitreya was explaining about this situation. So this who Kapila Dev instructed his mother Devahuti. Who is Devahuti? Devahuti is the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, the mother of Lord Kapila. Kapila is none other than the Lord himself. So he is in the form. He took the form as Lord Krishna took a form as Kapila, and he uh, he came for a purpose, for preaching. preaching Sankhya philosophy. Correct. Sorry, Sankhya philosophy. So how this has happened in there near Bindu Sarovar, Kardamam. Sorry, oh, I missed one point. That's it. The on the uh, Devahuti is the mother of Kapila Dev, and Karma Muni is the wife, sorry, husband of Devahuti. So how they Kardama Muni got married to Devahuti? This is a small story. I will just go faster. So near Bindu Sarovar, once Kardama Muni was doing a long penance, he at the end of his penance he could meet Lord. And Lord was with Chaturbhuja Rupa. He was holding conch shell and all in these all his four hands. He was very beautiful. His eyes were lotus. He was wearing Kaustuba money and everything. So he appeared. It is just I'm saying, please visualize if you can. It will be very grateful for us also to see Lord as Karma Muni had an opportunity to see the Lord. So Karma Muni saw the Lord. So in 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 the beginning, the why Karma Muni was praying to the Lord, even though he was a very great devotee of the Lord, and he was very uh, he was in a good discipline. He was in he knows everything, and even then he was he was doing tapa for Lord. So he had a small desire. So uh, when Lord appeared with all beautiful features, Karatma Muni opened his eyes, saw the Lord, and observed him, and he started saying that I am totally satisfied with you, Lord, after seeing you. And he was uh, see when a person was has all the opulence in the, he could experience that, then what else he need? So Kardama Muni was totally uh, observed in Lord's appearance, and he was very satisfied. He said Lord also, and then Lord said, yeah, I know your desire, so I will get you married. So he was basically he was looking for a very good 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 wife with all beautiful features and everything. So Lord understood his desire. Even Kardamani also requested him. So Lord approved his desire and said that Manu will be Swambhu Manu. He will be his daughter is ready for marriage, and he will be coming with his wife in few days, and you need to accept accept her. So Lord blesses him. After that, you will be, after satisfying all your desires, you will come back to me without any doubt. Lord promises him also, because once whoever get married, so once again material things will come in, and he may get disturbed to uh, progressing in spiritual. He had a small fear, and Lord also said, no, nothing will happen, you will come back to me and everything. So Kardama Muni also takes Lord's blessings, and Lord disappears. So in few days, Kardama Muni is in a deep he is in a trance near this Bindu Sarovar. This very beautiful garden, which has all varieties of flowers, and with fragrance flowers, trees, beautiful birds, and everything. It is a Bindu Sarovar is a drop of water fallen from the Lord's feet. So it is very auspicious also. So he near that Sarovar, he is in a trance. So after a few days, Swambhu Manu comes with her daughter, and he is waiting for Kardama Muni to open his eyes from the and then he they both have sorry, Kardamamni is welcoming Manu and Ma, getting seat and everything. He is they are respecting each other, and they started conversing between them. So at a point, Manu opens the topic and saying that my daughter is ready for you and you can please get married to her and everything. Karnamani is also accepting her, and then he says one condition that after getting a child I will quit this samsara. That is some after marriage life I will quit, and I will progress. I will start moving towards the spiritual progress. So even Manu's main desire is to spread the population, so he is accepting. And even before that, when Lord came before Kardama Muni also, he gives blessings to uh, Kardama Muni, saying that you will be getting uh, nine daughters and one son. That son is none other than me myself. I will appear as your son to preach Sankhya philosophy. That's what Lord gives. Based on that, you are now Manu is also accepting the conditions of Kardama Muni, and they are getting married. So being a sage, the condition of the sage also, he will be like hairs and not like. So you are seeing that also, Devahuti accepting him as his husband, because she knows how spiritually Kardamamuni is advanced, his glories, everything she knows. So she accepted him as his husband without any fraction of doubt or anything. So he is accepting her. Sorry, she is accepting him. So after marriage, Manu also leaves the place. They are going back to their kingdom. There, Manu started continuing his life, and here Kardamuni is also continuing his life. Kardamuni is always in trance. Devavati is getting a great opportunity to serve his husband, because Kardamuni is a exalted devotee, and he is very perfect in his devotion. So Devati got an opportunity to serve a great Vaishnava. So she started serving without any expectation. She is serving like anything, and at a certain point, she becomes very weak. Karma Muni could see her condition. She was very skinny. Uh, so he thinks she was a big queen, and because Manu means he is the king of universe. So princess. Shiva Devati was the prince, so she could have a she would have a royal life earlier. So now she's suffering here. She lost. She he could see her dedication in serving his husband. So then Kardamuni started speaking to her, saying that I am very pleased with your service, and uh, and started giving advice to her how uh, material life and how the devotional life, what is the important of it. Material life is not always temporary, and devotional life, our ultimate purpose of the life is devotional, and we need to reach back to God. We need to serve Lord. So this advice Karmamani gives to Devati. Even then Devati, then after that, Karnamani, being pleased with her service, he is asking her to give a he is ready to give her a vow. So Devavati expressing her desire. So she wants to be uh, they both want to be united. So Devavati, uh, respecting her things, they they need some shelter, all arrangements to be done. So immediately Kardama Muni, since he was very pleased with his wife, and with her sweet words, since Devati expressed her desire, immediately Karnamani with his potential powers, and he immediately construct the aerial mansion which can fly at a power of mind. Wherever, and it is full of auspicious jewels, very huge buildings, lakes, trees, uh, um, big bungalows, everything, and full of gems, made of full of them. Walls are full, self-illuminated, all fragrance. We can say it is a royal palace with all facilities, with all in number of servants ready to serve her. Everything he created with us. We can say it is a mini Swarga he created. So they both so initially what happens, Devahuti was since she was serving Kardama Muni for a long time without rest and anything, she was totally dirt. So Kardama Muni requested her to dip into this Bindu Sarovar and come. So while dipping, after dipping in the Bin Sarovar, while she comes out of the Sarovar, she entirely, her entire structure is getting changed. She becomes like earlier. She is become very beautiful, young, charming. Everything happens, and she was carried with her servants, and they are supporting her to decorate her and everything. They are serving her, and then they started enjoying their life, married life. So Karzamani started taking her to the all the places because it is a aerial mansion. So he is showing everything all around the universe, and they are both happy. At us after since once Devavati reaches her all expectations, then uh, her last expectation is that she want to get kids. So Kardama Muni divides himself into nine parts, and then he gives birth to nine daughters. Even after getting daughter, once on the same day when after getting daughters, Kardama Muni started leaving to his place and started pregnant. So immediately Devavati uh, seeing him, she didn't stop him, but seeing him started smiling, and being Kardama Muni, spiritual master, he could understand all others' heart, and he immediately, okay, he recalled Lord's blessings, and then he waited for a time until Lord appears. So after a long time, Lord appears, and even that Lord appearing also, it is very beautiful. Lord was very beautiful. Uh, Lord appears as his son, who is having lotus eye, very soft, lotus feet, everything. So he was totally um, happy, and they're back into their day-to-day life. And during as the day passed, the Brahma once visit to see sorry, Kapila Muni. Okay, spelling mistake is there. Sorry, visits to see Kapiladev, and then he started advising Kardama Muni about his duties, what he has to do further, and then he, since he is already Lord has also appeared, and then how he has to go forward in his life. So after that, since he has nine daughters, Kardama Muni, with the guidance of Brahma, all the daughters are getting married to nine sages who are who will be helping uh, Manu to spread the population. So the population spreading population is also carried, and Kapila Deva also uh, Lord Kapil Deva also appeared. So Kardama Muni's next duty is to uh, go for devotional service for his remaining life and get liberated. So that was his the left out part, and the Lord Brahma advised him. So he is going forward. So now the Kardama Muni, now he knows, because Lord instructed, Lord informed Kardamuni also that I'm going to appear, and so Kardamuni knows about the Lord Kapila's appearance, and he knows that is the Lord himself only. Then after some time he speaks to Lord, he surrenders himself, he get an opportunity to uh, speak to Lord, express his desires, thanking him for all what he has did, then and requesting Lord to show his future. And Kardama Muni, after taking advice from the Lord, Kardama Muni leaves to forest, leaving the household duties. He's handing over, because daughters are married, and only Lord Kapila is left. So his wife will be taken care his by Lord Kapila. So here it is very important that even like Prabhupada always used to say that all women to be given protection. When they are child, brothers has to be So parents will be supporting of the kids, and when they are grown up, brothers or sisters, they will be supporting of the women, and when they are get married, his husband has to protect her, and when she is getting old, his son or daughter has to support the kids, support the women. So this is in all the part it has been instructed. So the same way here Kardamuni also leaving his wife to his son, and he is living for forest. So until then, Devavati was quite happy. Once she saw that Kardamuni is leaving the home, she got fear what she is going to do for the future, and she started lamenting. Why she was lamenting? Because she was connected to the body, bodily aspect. So she was considering him as a body, and I and my body. So uh, she had that great connection. So she was lamenting, and then she had a opportunity to so she also knows that Kapila Devi is Lord's incarnate, so she surrenders to Lord, and Lord started explaining to his mother Devavati. So here Lord explains about the holy names, what is the power of the holy name, how we can control the mind, what is the body, and what is the soul, and everything Lord explains to mother. And what is the power of association makes a big difference. As I said before, it is very, so Lord explains everything even, and finally Lord says that which is very essential, going back to Godhead is very how we can achieve it, only achieve through devotional service, which is the very easiest path. Even other yogic process, it will take time, but devotional service will lead one to law, going back to Godhead very easily. So this is explained by Lord to his mother Devavati, and he explains about all the material nature, because this body is made of this all the pancha tattva, sorry, not pancha tattva, pancha bhutas, and we are, and these all connected to the material things. Everything Lord explains to her. So now Kapila Muni is giving, that is Lord Kapila is giving, being the author of the Sankhya philosophy. So Sankhya philosophy, uh, it is the very ancient philosophy, which is the background of liberation. How, what is the what is the mean by liberation, how we can achieve it? This is the basic principle which is been like as Bhagavad Gita also, in between time it was broken, and Lord came back and he took incursion, he explained to Arjuna the same way. This Sankhya philosophy also broke, and Kapila Muni, Lord came as Kapila Muni, and he started explaining to his mother the entire philosophy, Sankhya philosophy. The the current Sankhya philosophy which is available in the market is not the right correct one. This is very, this in the Shastra, Sankhya philosophy system is in Shastras. It is said by Kapila Muni. So this is entirely spiritual, which helps helps a person to go back to Godhead and get liberated very easily. The system, about this short, in short, the system of philosophy enacted by Lord Kapila before his mother is the background for situation on the spiritual platform. The specific significance of the system of philosophy is stated herein as Siddhi Bhumi, in the background of salvation. People who are suffering in the material world become in this material world because they are conditioned by the material energy, can easily get freedom from the clutches of matter by understanding the Sankhya philosophy enacted by Lord Kapila. This is very important. By this system of philosophy, one can immediately become free, even though one is situated in the material world. That stage is called Jiva Mukti. This means that one is liberated even though one stays with this material body. That happened for Devavati, the mother of Lord Kapila. This is very, very, rare thing with with the material body one can get liberated. It happens only with the Lord only. It is with the Lord's presence. So this has happened to Mother Devavati with by Lord Kapila's instructions. So these things become the three almost three chapters covers this thing, and about the Kapila and Devavati. Sorry, and now in the 28th chapter it comes Kapila's instruction on the execution of devotional service. Actually, this is the sloka which we read today is sloka number 4, and remaining slokas are also very interesting. So I thought we will read. Can I request anyone to read these slokas? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I will try, Prabhuji. First one.
Yeah, please, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Text 1. The personality of Godhead said, "My dear mother, O daughter of the king, now I shall explain to you the system of yoga, the object of which is to concentrate the mind. By practicing the system, one can become joyful and progressively advance towards the path of absolute truth." Hare Krishna. Shall I
Yes,
continue?
Prabhuji, continue.
Okay.
Yeah, please, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu. Text 2. One should execute his prescribed duties to the best of his ability and avoid performing duties not allotted to him. One should be satisfied with as much as he achieves by the grace of the Lord, and one should worship the lotus feet of spiritual master. Text 3. One should cease performing conventional religious practices and should be attracted to those which lead to salvation. One should eat very frugally and should always remain secluded so that he can achieve the highest perfection of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here it is all Lord's instruction to his mother. So here we can see how it is all, we can say it is all basic, not only basic, it is very important thing also. So being a devotee, we should also get into this thing. So this Hare Krishna. So the sloka number 4. The sloka number 4, which we have read now, one should practice non-violence, truthfulness. So it is taking forward. Lord says that one should practice non-violence, truthfulness, and read the Vedic scriptures from the authorized Vedic scriptures to reach the personality of Godhead. And one must observe silence. This is very important. It is very tough even in married life, but we need to practice steadiness by practicing different yogic posture. Control the breathing of the vital air, withdraws the senses from sense objects, and thus concentrate the mind on the heart. So this part, it is very tough for this Kali Yuga, but we can do it by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra during Brahma Murta. Apart from the other time, all there will be all disturbances, so we cannot be able to do that. The fixing the vital air. So this vital air and the mind in one of the 6 circles. This is about the other yogic process. What Lord is explaining about how we can control the air circulation in the body and concentrate the mind, and that is called samadhi or samadhana of the mind. So mind, as Arjuna in previous Bhagavad Gita slokas, he says, controlling, I can control the air, but I cannot control the mind. So here we can control the mind also by controlling the air circulation. It is very tough for this Kali Yuga. By this process or any other true process, one must control the contaminated, unbridled mind, which is always attracted by material enjoyment, thus fix himself in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can we remember one more thing also here, that one should be friend of mind and mind, and need to control the mind. Otherwise, he become the mind becomes the enemy of him. Same thing Lord is explaining. One second. After controlling one's mind and sitting posture, one should spread a seat in a settled and sanctified place, sitting there in a easy posture, keeping the body erect and practice breath control. So this is very tough for us. We cannot go to forest, and so that's the reason Prabhupada has given us the chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because in Kali Yuga Namarupe Krishna Avatar, by taking the name of Lord enters into our heart. So probably I'm just getting a call. Just can anyone can read Prabhu? I will just mute for a minute.
Okay, Prabhu. The yogi should clear the passage of vital air by breathing in the following manner. First, he should inhale very deeply, then hold the breath in, and finally exhale. Or reversing the process, the yogi can first exhale, then hold the breath outside, and finally inhale. This is done so that the mind may become steady and free from external disturbances. The yogis who practice such a breathing exercise are very soon freed from all mental disturbances, just as gold, when put into a fire and fanned with air, becomes free from all impurities. By practicing the process of pranayama, one can eradicate the contamination of his psychological condition, and by concentrating the mind, one can become free from all sinful activities. By restraining the senses, one can free himself from material association, and by meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can become free from the three modes of material attachment. Swastik Prabhu, can you please read, Prabhu?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु थोड़ा इंग्लिश में बोलो इधर स्पीड प्रोनाउंसिएशन हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
No problem, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, எங்க விட்டீங்க Prabhu? Asan Prabhu. Sorry.
Prabhu 12th ல இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம்.
Okay. When the mind is perfectly purified by this practice of yoga, one should concentrate on the tip of the nose with half closed eyes and see the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has a cheerful lotus-like countenance with ruby eye like the interior of the lotus, and a swarry body like the pearl of the blue lotus. He bears a conch, disc, and mace in three of his hands. This we actually, from this I was really attracted to this. So even while chanting also we can practice this. We can close our eyes, we can chant, and we can visualize the Lord's form as it is. As now it is going to be description about the Lord. It will be very beautiful. So how the Lord's look like? He'll be his eyes are ruby, and the interior like the interior of the lotus, and swiry body like the petals of the blue lotus, and he bears a conch. So we can visualize Lord is having conch. He's in the other hand he's having this, and the another hand he's having mace. And next sloka, his lions are covered by a shining cloth. Yellow is like the filaments of a lotus. On his breast, he bears the marks of Srivatsa, a curl of white hair. So this is the main difference. What when we are getting an opportunity to go back to Goloka, we will be also getting the 400 form, where the big difference between us and the Lord will be the Kaustubha gem and the Srivatsa mark. These two will be with the Lord, and we will not be having that mark. That is will be the main difference. So we can visualize how the white hair and the brilliant Kaustubha gem is suspending from his neck. He also wears around his neck a garland of attractive sylvan flowers and a swarm of bees intoxicated by its delicious fragrance hums about the garland. He is further superbly adorned with a pearl necklace, a crown, and pairs of armlets, bracelets, and anklets. So we can also see Lord is wearing flower, and that flower is due to the fragrance from the flower. Bees are roaming around the flowers to. Uh, so even that also Lord has explained. His lions and heaps encircled by a girdle, he stands on the lotus of his devotee's heart. He is most charming to look at, and his screening aspect gladdens the eyes and souls of the devotees who behold him. So, after seeing the Lord in this beautiful form, his hips are no, none of the mind will go ahead seeing any other thing and enjoy. So this is far sufficient. So this was really attracting point for me too. So we need to also visualize Lord in this way, doing while doing we can while doing chanting, so that we can hear to our Maha Mantra, and then we can visualize Lord also. So it will be very encouraging. It was when I tried, it was encouraging for me. So we can also try. The Lord is eternally very beautiful, and he is worshipable by all the inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful. He is Yavanam. He is always youthful and always eager to bestow his blessings upon his devotees. The glory of the Lord is always worth singing, for his glories enhance the glories of his devotees. One should therefore meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead and upon his devotees. One should meditate on the eternal form of the Lord until the mind becomes fixed. The Lord will be happy when his devotees also glorified, and the same glorifying Lord is also Lord will be happy, and more than that, glorifying his devotees, Lord will be very happy. So, thus always merged in devotional service, the yogi visualizes the Lord stand, standing, moving, laying down, or sitting within him past for the pastimes of Supreme Lord are always beautiful and attractive. In fixing his mind on the eternal form of the Lord, the yogi should not take a collective use of his limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. Mataji, anybody can read Mataji? The devotee should
Hare
first count. Yes, Mataji, please
Hare
go on.
You go ahead, Prabhu.
21, Mataji, please go ahead.
21. Which one, Prabhu? 17, no?
21.
21, I cannot see. Okay. The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of a
Thunder.
thunderbolt, a goad, a banner, and lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resembles the orb of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart. Text number 22. The blessed Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head the holy water of Ganges, which has its source in the water that washed the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord's, the Lord's feet act like thunderbolts, herds to shelter the mountain of sins stored in the mind of the meditation devotee. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So
Thank
there,
you
here
for
it is very
giving this
important.
line, Prabhu. These two lines were very important. Thank you, Prabhu.
Mataji, it all comes automatically. I'm not choosing. It's the Lord's mercy. So here, even when we are seeing the deities, we should start seeing the deity from the lotus feet of the Lord, not directly to the face or not directly to the any other part of the body of the Lord. So because it is very auspicious seeing Lord's lotus feet. With his lotus feet, one who surrenders to his lotus feet, he nullifies all the sins and he bestows them also. So Lord Shiva, he is very uh, merciful Lord's he got all mercy of the Lord. He is holding the entire water from the Lord's feet, Ganges. So the water is flowing from the Lord's nail, and which is directly falling into Lord Shiva's head, and Lord is very merciful. So that much we need to meditate on the Lord's lotus feet to get His mercy. That is the easiest way to please Lord. And here the beauty of the Lord's limbs, here hips, lotus feet, everything is been explained, and which we can visualize. Hare Krishna. Then the yogi should fix in the heart of the activities of Lakshmi. So next to now the Lord Shiva got the opportunity of who took all the mercy. Now the now the Lord Lakshmi, who is always serving the Lord, and what happens to Lord Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods, and is the mother of the supreme person Brahma. So she can always be found massaging the legs and thighs of the transcendental Lord, very carefully serving him in this way. This is the almost service who can do to the Lord, and this has been awarded to Mother Lakshmi. So she is in service of the Lord all time, always, that too massaging his Lord's feet. Next, the yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the personality of God. Thigh is the storehouse of all the energy. The Lord's thighs are whitish blue like the luster of the inseed flower, and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. Also, the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by a girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to his anklet. So here, how the thighs, who whenever anybody is wants to show the power, they beat their thighs. So thighs of the Lord is very beautiful, where all the powers are set, and the beauty of the Lord sitting on the Garuda. Then the yogi should meditate on his moon like navel in the center of his abdomen. From his navel, which is the foundation of the entire universe, sprang the lotus stem containing all the different planetary system. The lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first created being. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's nipples, which resemble a pair of most exhaustive emeralds, and which appear white is because of the rays of the milk white pearl necklace adorning his chest. So next, where we need to concentrate on the navel, and then the chest. Then the yogi should then meditate on the chest of the supreme personality of God, the abode of goddess Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and full satisfied for the eyes. The yogi should then impart on his mind the neck of the personality of God, who is adorned by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubhajam, which hangs on his chest. The yogi should. So here we can see the importance of even when we are sad, we hold our hand to our chest and we say I'm a little bit not happy. So the chest is the important part where we need to meditate, where Lord Mahalakshmi is residing. The yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's forearms, which are the source of the all powers of the demigods who control the various functions of material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments which were burnished by the Mount Mandra as it is revolved. He should also dully contemplate the Lord's disc, uh, Sudarsana Chakra, which contains 1000 spokes, and a dazzling luster, as well as the conch, which looks like a swan in his lotus-like palm. So here we can see the beauty of the Sudarshana Chakra and the conch, which is in the Lord's four hands, and the gems ornaments in the Lord's hand. And the yogi should meditate upon his club, which is named Kaumodaki, and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons who are always inimical soldiers and is smeared with their blood. One should also concentrate on the nice garlands on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by blue bumblebees with their nice uh, buzzing sound. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklace of the Lord's neck, which is considered to re- represent the pure loving, pure living entities who are always engaged in his service. So this is very great. So here we need to meditate on the Lord's club. Okay. The yogi should then meditate on the lotus-like con- countenance of the Lord, who presents his different forms in this world out of compassion for the anxious devotee. His nose is prominent, and his crystal clear cheeks are illuminated by the occasion of his glittering alligator shaped earrings. So earrings also here they have explained how beautiful they are. Generally, Lord in the sense all beautiful. The yogi then meditates upon the beautiful face of the Lord, which is adorned with curly hair and decorated by lotus-like eyes and dancing eyebrows. A lotus are surrounded by swarming bees, and a pair of swimming fish would be put to the shame by its elegance. So here we can see the beautiful Lord's face with curly hair decorated with lotus-like eyes, dancing eyebrows. Just visualize, you will be in a different mode. The yogi should contemplate with full devotion the compassionate glance frequently cast by the Lord's eyes, or they smooth the most fearful fourfold agonies of his devotees. His glances, accompanied by loving smiles, are full of abundance grace. A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smiles of Lord Sri Hari, a smile which Lord smile is great. So we can it is for all these who bow to him, dries away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief. Even though if we are in a deep grief, by visualizing Lord's smile or seeing the Lord's smile, everything will fly out of our heart. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows. So actually, one who maintains eyebrows, he can control his sense very easily, which are manifested by his internal potency in order to charm the sex god of the for the good of the sages. With the devotions stepped into the love and affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of Lord Vishnu. The laughter of Vishnu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see his small teeth, which resemble jasmine buds, rendering rosy by the splendor of his lips. Once devoting his mind to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. Yes, Lord explained about himself, and even it is very clear that yes, if when we are hearing to the laughter of the Lord Vishnu, it will be more than enough for us to. Uh, yeah, it will coincide all our requirements. By following this course, the yogi gradually develops pure love of the Supreme Personality God Hari. In the course of his progress in devotional service, the hairs on the body stand erect through excessive joy, and he is constantly bathed in a stream of tears associated by intense love. Gradually, even the mind, which he used as a means to attract the Lord, as one attracts the fish at the hook, withdraws from material activity. When the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination, detached from the material objectives, it is just like the flame of the lamp. At that time, the mind is actually devoted with that of the Supreme Lord and is experienced as one with Him, because it is freed from the intensive follow of the material qualities. So here I was I wanted to share this because being auspicious day, uh, knowing this, and when we start visualizing the Lord in our mind, that will help us to do our activities without any material disturbances, material things. We can focus into the Lord's lotus feet. We can focus into his hips, his eyebrows, his smile, laughter, his thunderbolt, his sorry, his snare, uh, chakra, shanka, his beautiful thighs, arms, his dress, and his hair, curly hair, everything. So even if one meditate on this, he will not think about any other material thing. This will make him to this will show him the path to Krishna prema. It will induce it will make him to what to say, no other words, he will be captured easily. So I with this one can there are few more slogans, but I thought it will be sufficient for this, and with this I just end today's Bhakti, the translation for third canto, 28th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Kapila's instruction to execution of devotional service. With this mind, we need to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all for giving this opportunity. Dandat Pranam to all Vaishnav, Vanchakalpatra Visa, Kripa Sindhi Vatitanam Pranam, Vaishnav, Antakoti Vaishnav, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. If I made any mistake, please forgive me. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji, for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks a lot, Venkat Prabhuji. It was very natural and a lot of details we go through for the first time, Prabhu. So now I will quickly request all the devotees to please share their comments quickly. So may I begin with Swastik Chaitanya Das Prabhuji to kindly share his comments and suggestions.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Nanda Pranam. Very nice, bro. आज बहुत अच्छी तरह से सुना है कि एक अध्याय का पूरा कैसे पढ़ सकते हो बोल के प्रभु जी आज हमको सिखाया भी, फिर भी अच्छी तरह से समझ के बताया भी है। बहुत अच्छा लगा। थैंक यू ब्रो, थैंक यू ब्रो, चैतन्य ब्रो, वेरी नाइस।
हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू प्रभु जी, सबको जाके आशीर्वाद मिलो। हरे कृष्ण।
कृष्ण कृपा।
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. May I next request Vasant Prabhuji for his comments, please?
Yeah, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. First of all, like Aparna Mataji, Adi Sundari Mataji, very nice kirtan. After a long time, we are hearing from you, Mataji. And Venkat Prabhu, excellent realization and amazing session, Prabhu. So this Kardama Muni, Kapila, Kardama Muni, Kapila Dev, and Lord Kapila, and Devahuti, like so very special for me as well, because while I was reading, like I got so many realization, and it explained like in a very very detailed manner how the whole pastime like took place. So very nicely, like you summarized, Prabhu, and you just like enjoyed that transcendental pastimes. So the reason like you could able to communicate in this manner, how the whole the 28th chapter, how it is explaining like the whole details of Lord Lord's beauty and how we need to get attracted to that beauty and how we can get away from this particular material world. So very nicely explained, Prabhu. Amazing thing. Hare Krishna. Very, very nice, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. On good Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, Prabhu. I just
Yeah.
tried to read the slokas only, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prasan Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Yes.
is Mataji also available? Yeah.
Prabhu, she was behind Dia. Actually, most of the time she didn't listen the class, Prabhu. Like,
No
Hare
problem.
Krishna.
So may I request Mamta Mataji next then?
Krishna Prabhu, Danvat Pranam.
I may request your all permission to leave, Prabhu, for another class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So I'll quickly start and I'll give my feedback, my realization. Prabhu, Ati Sundari Mataji conveyed to her a very beautiful voice as usual, and we are always thirsty to listen her voice. However, it's very rare nowadays that she's coming across and she's giving her presence. But it was wonderful. It was really beautiful Kirtan, and her voice is always melodious. Thank you, Aparna Mataji. Please convey to her, Prabhu. I will quickly come to Venkat Prabhu. Yeah, Venkat Prabhu. I could see that was all what you have, learned, what you have gone through, detailed information, Devahuti, Kapilamuni, and then appearance of the Lord, lotus feet. So, I mean, on this auspicious day, you tried to cover as much as possible in terms of bhakti, in terms of devotional service, in terms of how a devotee should pay his sadhana to the Lord. So you covered everything actually, and especially it's a kind of reminder on a day like Ekadashi that what should be the right mood and the right way to worship the Lord. I'm really thankful, Prabhu. Thank you for giving the all insights and for waking up the eyes and to remind us again for the right direction. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. My sincere
Thank you,
respect.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. All Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Thanks a lot, Mamta Mataji. And Prabhuji, I just want to add quickly, like it was really nice Kirtan, Prabhu, and for Aparna, because I suddenly got the call at that time, and then she managed to do the Kirtan, Prabhu. And once again, Prabhu, it was very, very nice class because you started from the beginning. You set the platform first, and then you went into the detail of Lord Kapila's instruction to Mother Devati. So again, even there also it was very natural, Prabhu, because it started from our how to control the mind, keep the focus on the tip of the nose. From there it started, and then gradually, step by step, it moved to highest stage of perfection, wherein we can meditate on the Lord all the times with all the instruction of how to do it also. So thanks a lot, Prabhu. And only one small point that I want to add here is the importance of hearing from the right source, like you mentioned, Guru Sadhu Shastra, is because when we read the scripture, we don't read it like any other information source like newspaper or school books or something, right? Because there we have to just read it and then remember it and just write in the exam. Here we have to, as Prabhupada says, we have to study the Shastras. And when we say study, it means it is not information then anymore. It is like transformation, right? So because the things has to come to our heart, not to the mind. So that is the difference. When we read the things, it is just for mind, right? But when we are reading the Shastras, it is for the transformation, and it happens to the heart. That is the reason it has to be in disciplic succession, because otherwise, if the succession is broken, then the heart connection is also broken in between, right? It has to, the message has to be conveyed from heart to heart, right? So that's it, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhu,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
with your permission, I will stop the recording.
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, please. Hare Krishna.